Hi everyone. For this section of Work Hall Infocus, we have with us Mr. Zeeshan Akhtar. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Minayel.
Before we move forward, can you give us a little bit of background about your field, and can you tell our audience what your background is?
Okay, so my background, I'm a system engineer, but now I'm moving towards the cloud and DevOps. It's been a long journey since I started all those things. Uh, uh, Coming to the very basic, I was not from the priority. My first priority was not the cloud or the software engineering, neither the IT professional, being the IT professional. It's the emerging markets and all those things which are being drastically changing the environment and changing the technology. It urged me to step into the cloud. So yeah, I was from the business background, and my actually bachelor's was in international business management from Staffordshire University, UK. So yeah, I further carried forward my master's in computer science as a computer science professional. So then I struggled a little bit, not a little bit, a lot actually. So I struggled a lot, to bring myself to move from a business background to the IT professional, to coming into the IT. So it wasn't. I won't say that it was a very easy thing, but yeah, a dedication and effort are needed for any work you do, right? So that's what I did, and Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, I am what I wanted to achieve. Alhamdulillah.
I think as someone that also has a business background, I also have a business background, by the way. If you are going to like change your field, it's a big shift, but it's there's a lot of effort involved, that's for sure. But it's good that you did that. Moving forward to our questions, our first question is uh, for people that have no prior knowledge about cloud computing, how would you describe it? And what are the necessary skills that people need to enter this field? And what are the requirements and what are the ideas and inspirations that people need to follow to get into this field, especially like cloud computing? As I said, it's a vast field and it's growing as well.
Right, right. You're absolutely right. So, if I just give you a brief about the cloud, it refers to the computing service. It's including the server storage, database, and networking, software, analytics, intelligence, and other over the network. You can access all those things over the network. You don't actually need to have the physical device or the physical networks. Obviously you would be needing an internet connection, physical, that specific network you would be needing it, but you don't need the storage devices, the servers, the maintenance cost of the physical servers. So those physical devices have been cut down, and this is the and you can access it from anywhere in the world remotely, like what we are doing at the moment. We have been remotely controlling our devices in the data centers, and that's what I am doing. Like, since this been the COVID period, we all most of the IT professional work has been shifted to the remote, and they are doing it smoothly because of the cloud. This is the essence of the cloud that have made them uh, bring the work to their home, and they have been capable of doing the work from home now.
And our second question is, what is the primary difference between cloud and traditional data centers?
Okay, so data centers. Okay, data cloud is basically based on the data center. The difference between the data center and a cloud is basically data center is a place where it's an infrastructure. It's a place where the set of the hardwares are being located, right? And so hardware means, I mean, the servers are being located mostly, and they are being running 24/7 to keep your data stored and accessible anytime, anywhere. So the data center can be kept on of the premises or of the company, and it could be a great care with regards to the temperature, humidity, security, because one cannot measure the security. If someone wants to, there is a vulnerabilities coming across. We all know that we receive some of the scams they are coming across, right? These are the very short one, but coming towards the network side, there are DDoS attacks. There are so other multiple malicious attack that most of the people who doesn't have the prior experience over the IT or the experience over computer science, they don't know about these terms, the DDoS attack, all those, but they are the attackers and the attacks that comes and interrupt and store collect the data and just wipe it your computer. So it could create a disruption to your computer. It could bring your revenue loss as well. So yeah, so basically coming back to the question, data center. So data center is a place where all these things are being stored. Everything is securely stored, and highly IT tech professionals are being there. The experts are being there, and it's been monitored 24/7. Uh, yeah, their temperature, because if your normal computer has been running 24 hours, right, it's gonna heat up, or it would blast somehow. After 24 hours, it would blast at a certain point of time, but these servers are being maintaining 24/7, and when you can't actually feel the uptime and the downtime between it until there has been a problem from your application side. So the servers are being, and they have guaranteed the 99.9% of the assurity that they give you the uptime, and you have the accessibility to access this and store the data as much as you want. Obviously nothing is infinite, but yeah, there is a finite storage that they provide you. So we have a bunch of cloud service provider at the moment in 2020. We can see, coming to the facts, we have a lot of cloud service providers, like, and the top one is AWS, Amazon Web Services. I also wanted to bring some facts on the table by mentioning that AWS, like it's like 5%, 13% of the sales is not just from the Amazon traditional retail business. 13% of the add-on sale is also being generated by the AWS itself. So it's a massively accommodating the market, the cloud market, and it's been generating a lot of revenue. Most of the companies have been now shifted to the cloud, and coming here to the Malaysia, Southeast Asian region. If I talk about here, where I've been working and I start my cloud and my IT experience and my whole knowledge here. So in Southeast Asian region, if I talk about here, in this region, it's been forecasted like about 40.3 billion by the year 2025. It is estimated revenue for the cloud service provider, only the providers, and most of the company would be moving towards it. So this is a huge, massive market, and yeah, people are looking more into it. That's what the craze is all about, cloud.
That was very informative for our listeners, especially. Moving on with the questions, as someone that's technologically oriented, um, how do you think technology is like changing the job market?
Technology is drastically changing the job market. That is something which urged me to change my field from business to IT. Yeah, and if you see any of most of the service SMEs who are starting up nowadays, they're looking for, they can't take the cost of setting up the whole infrastructure, maintaining the service, the applications. One of my friend and your previous work hall presenter Fahim Sadek. He is one of my very good friend. So he mentioned like he would be looking forward to, he has his Funzu, which he has launched, right? So he's been rising that funzu, the African cuisine around the Pakistani market, around the Pakistan market. So that's a very good thing. But he's been digitalizing everything, right? His main focus is to digitalize everything. And he's been digitalizing everything. This whole thing has been coming to an end of the cloud. This thing, everything is end of the cloud. And he's also wanted like the chatbot things, all these AI, and at the end of the, if you see the end of all these things, all of the things are being actually deployed on the cloud. The things are being deployed and being managed by the cloud service provider, and the cloud service has been providing and making it sure that it could be accessible throughout whenever you want it and wherever you want it. It's not just about having it. You might, if you face a difficulty, there are the expert who can help you out in those sectors. 24 support service has been there to help you out if you face any difficulty to deploy, to assess, to downgrade, or to upgrade the things in terms of networking, in terms of storage, in terms of any of the other queries that you have, and they could provide both of them. Coming back, if I also mention one of the fact, like if I'm going to tell you about the AWS itself have about 150 services. So there are so we have Azure, we have about 25 top cloud providers in the world, in globally right now, and there are like still there are some more cloud which are being cloud service provider which are being in the midst of coming into the picture, but COVID have disrupted things somehow. But still, things are in the progress, and you will see in a couple of 2 or 3 years there would be a lot of service providers. Right now, AWS has been dominating the market because the rates are a little bit higher because we don't cannot see much of the fruitful, or we cannot see some of the competition in the market. So that's how once the competition is there, you can see in a couple of years, once the competition is there, you will see the competitive pricing as well for all the cloud service providers, and then you have the opportunity to choose between which cloud service you would like to. So it's a win-win situation for the cloud service provider as well as for the users. So it's on win-win situation for both the sides.
We have a question from our audience. I'm going to put it on the screen.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, so private, public, and hybrid cloud. All right. So then, yeah, if we are coming towards the private cloud, okay, the private cloud is basically you can have your own private cloud if you wanted to. Yeah, about FOSS, you can have the OpenStack private cloud. You can set up at your own. If you have the servers, right, you can have your own private cloud. While the public clouds we all know, like AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure, IBM, Oracle. These are one of the leading cloud service provider in the market. VMware. These are the leading cloud service provider in the market. But still, it, we still would be having we still have the room to enhance. We still have the market. We still have the room to bring others on the table, right? So yeah, so I would be having another session similarly to go deep in down for the all to distinguish between the cloud types, and to have the cloud different distinguishes between cloud service from the private, from the hybrid, and for the public one. So yeah, we will be looking forward for the next session to have a deep down dive to all those questions. For all that, so this is just a brief overview. This session would be for the just a brief view for what we are going to take over, what is the cloud is about, and where things are going to end. I mean, I think I can hear you.
Our next question is, what are the advantages that a company would have if they adapt cloud technologies, and why is cloud computing important for business?
So as I mentioned to you earlier, right? It's cost effective. The one of the things that I mentioned to you earlier, it's quite cost effective. Like you don't have to maintain the servers, right? You don't have to carry your laptops anywhere or everywhere. The bunch of the servers are pretty heavy. If I tell you the servers are pretty heavy, I have once picked up a servers and it's pretty heavy. So you don't want to carry like 15 kg of a servers on your back and everywhere to relocate if you wanted to, or to assess, or to plug in the networkings to see the security systems and all those things. So basically, to remove all these barriers, you can just have a normal laptop or a normal internet connection from any of your device, and you can access it. This is one of the primary you can see the advantage of the cloud. While the digitalization, the cloud also improvise on the digitalization and the digital transformation, effective creation of in-house solutions. It also gives the in-house solutions such as like the DevOps and the reliable. I'm a DevOps engineer, so like being a DevOps engineer, I would say like the applications that we are normally using, right? There is a massive programming being made at the back of it, where whether you bring it to the Amazon, whether you bring it to the Shopee, Lazada, Alibaba, all these are being maintaining the databases. They are being upgrading their size. The channel, the communication, the video conferencing that we are having at the moment, the StreamYard or Zoom or Teams chat, which these all are being deployed on the cloud. So this is one of the most important reason, like the cloud has been helping us to work remotely. Even in this pandemic, we are able to communicate and make the work. We are making the things workable, actually. Yeah.
Uh, before we end the session, can you like give us a few wise words, especially, people that are, want to start their own business, people that want to be entrepreneurs, people that are aspiring to, enter cloud computing or like any field, what are some wise words that you would like to impart them with?
Entrepreneur and you are SME, like you just want to start your business, you want to up your website, or you want application to be accessible at any point of time. So the cloud would be the best solution for you at the moment. The cloud also gives like a if you see, the cloud also gives a 1 year free free packages like GCP, AWS, the public clouds. At the moment they are giving the 1 year of the free packages for like they're costing you about $1, and that $1 even they will refund back to your account. So after 1 year of experience, having the cloud experience, and the accessibility and the performance of the cloud over the cloud, they will give you the pricing of what price would you like to have, what packaging would you like to have. But that will be after a year. So within a year, you can easily market yourself. You can bring up your business in a way. So the domains, most of the people nowadays are investing on most good domains and domain names, and getting hosted on the domains, right? So to be hosted, you can host your things on the cloud. To host these things, you can host these things on a cloud. This is from the entrepreneur perspective. Coming to IT professionals, there would be a massive need of IT professionals in the coming era. We As I just mentioned to you, the Southeastern region has been about estimated to 40.5 billion. So this 45.5 billion, right, they would be needing assistance, right, to monitor these things, to monitor these applications. Who are the people who would be monitoring it? What do you think? Like, those would be obviously cloud providers, right, to support these application 24 service, right? To even the telco, most of the biggest telco. I'm working for the one of the Asia's largest telecommunication at the moment, so which is Exata. So yeah, so I'm working for Exata, and I know how the telco works. You are having your application, and these things your phone has been sending and receiving the messages and transferring you the data and providing you the data, right? uh, so all these internet services, all been this has been done in milliseconds. You see, things are being bringing to your end in milliseconds. And the 5G, which is coming right in front of us, right? Which people would be looking forward to it, maybe by the next year 2021 in a southeastern region. There would be in Malaysia, Axata would be launching it, and by next year 2021 they have already committed, but they're just waiting for our license to be approved. Most of the actually not only Axata but other telecommunication services, they are also looking forward, just for the license to be released by the government of Malaysia, and then they will launch 5G here. So same goes here in Switzerland, or they have already launched 5G. And 5G, if I just brief you in few lines, what the 5G would be benefiting you, like it's a 40 times better service what you are receiving at the moment, in terms of internet connection, in terms of receiving, sending data, uptowns and downtowns, all the things. So yeah, so it would be very better. But yeah, everything have its pros and cons. So yeah, so that's another chapter. It's another that's another level. So we can discuss it in another sessions.
Thank you so much for this informative session. From behalf of Work Hall and my side, we would just like to, give our thanks. I'm sure our audience was very much intrigued, and there was a lot of knowledge that they got from this session. And we hope to see you soon in our upcoming sessions.
Yeah, I'm glad to share my knowledge with all of the people across Pakistan and abroad. That's something that I would love to. And I've been preparing, the session. I've been preparing something for the people who don't have the prior knowledge over the IT or the or the computer science, and they want to step into the cloud. They want to step into the DevOps. They want to be the cloud professional or the IT professional. So I've been designing such course for them. So I would love to, bring things on board, and yeah, we'll be looking forward for such things.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.